Am I online? I'm not sure I see myself. Okay, I am online. Where's my audience? Oh man, this is gonna be the first time in a while that the USAMO review stream doesn't have many people. I thought Twitch Solves Isl was tomorrow. There's a USAMO session today where I talk about the USAMO. I probably should have scheduled it for tomorrow, honestly. It's less confusing that way. Yeah, normal stream tomorrow. I haven't read AOPS at all. What's going on the in C5? Is this for USAMO discussion? Yes. Yeah, this is USAMO discussion. I'll change the stream title. There's like no one here today. What the heck? Did I not advertise this well enough? Because for NICE there were like a ton of people. I would have thought there were more for USAMO. GCC strikes again. I guess so. Hola. Alright, well, I think people are trickling in now. So, is regular stream tomorrow? Yes. I don't think that this was advertised that much. Well, see, here's the other thing. I don't know how to advertise. How did NICE advertise? Did they post on AOPS? It always starts like 5 minutes after 4. Should I like make a post on AOPS saying problem stream now or something? Do you want that sort of attention all at once? It's not 7 yet. It will be in like 1 minute. Thank you, Brian CJK, for the sub. 11 months. Was USAMO 5 supposed to be sum of squares? What do you mean sum of squares? Is it just me? I thought problem 5 was kind of easy as well. But I'm also apparently wrong. Like, I thought the test this year was easier than normal, but empirically, based on like what we've seen so far, I don't think that's true. Well, I got off for making like 2 types. Don't tell me about your paper, goddammit. I'm not supposed to know anything. The graders are pretty smart. That's the main thing you have going for you. All right. I think it's easy to think it's a pure algebra problem. Is it not? Okay, I don't know what the definition of algebra is anywhere. 42 on JMO. Okay, does someone... Actual question, should I post on AOPS saying review stream now? The stream hasn't started yet? But the stream started. Alright, you guys don't know authors yet, so... I don't know. So, if you want to make this interesting, we can have predictions where you can bet some number of channel points. The issue is that predictions need to be binary, so they need to be yes-no questions. But if people have a suggestion for good yes-no bets, I'm very happy to take them. I think it'll be fun. Problem 1 author already revealed. Which, oh jeez. I need to shrink the... Wow, I don't think I can fit all the problems. Especially since half the problems have freaking figures in them. J1. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that is a good prediction. Let's run that. How do I add a prediction? Do I not have... Start a prediction ad. One number of problems. All right. Okay, have fun. You know, I should just delete the figure on the JMO problem. I don't think I need it. Okay. Wow, I really need to shrink the font size to fit the all 9 problems. Alright, cool. How do I resolve the prediction? Okay. Is 3 USAMO problem? Profit. Oh god. Even the that freaking system takes up so much. Okay, I give up. We're not gonna fit all the problems on the screen. Cool. Alright, should I advertise on AOPS? I don't know if people are still reading the discussion though. Anyways. Okay, whatever. Just the A3, A4. Yeah. It's fine. We'll just go through the problems in order. All right. So yeah, I don't think there's any point in me putting the problems on the screen, anyways. So here are authors. This is what I guess what you people wanted. So font test. So for the JMO only problems, JMO 1 is Vincent, JMO 3 is Alex Tsai, JMO 4 is Brandon Wong. And alright, then the 6 USAMO problems. Okay, Onkan. Who was USAMO 2? Zoran Sunik, Alex Tsai, and Sean Kishore. Carl Schildkrot, Mohsen Jamali, and Onkan. So they're your authors. U5 is not T2. What is our prediction? You're late. Onkan singly handed to the save. Yeah, so Onkan provided all the geo on USAMO. Also on JMO? Yeah, actually there wasn't a JMO on the geo anyways. There's a lot of combo geo this year. Okay, so I need to. Alright, let's do the YouTube intro and then we'll have a video, alright? Alright, welcome back everyone. So today is the review stream for the JMO and USAMO 2021, so the American National Math Olympiad. I'm going to be showing you the solutions to all 9 of the distinct problems that showed up. For anyone that's curious, these are the problem authors, so congratulations to all these authors for getting a problem, and thank you for your contributions. Writing a problem for this test at all, like even having a problem to submit is already a lot of work. So we're very grateful for everyone's continued contribution. Okay, let's get started. So why is Onkan just Onkan? Because we all know who he is. Okay, so JMO1 is a functional equation. It's like you want to find all functions that satisfy this random constraint. So spoiler alert, the answer is just f equals 1. That's it. There's no interesting functions that satisfy the condition. So let me tell you like the way the proof goes. So we're going to first say like f of 1 is f of 1 squared. That's clear. So you get f of 1 equals 1 pretty easily. Now if you plug in like a equals b equals 1, you get f of 2 is f of 1 squared. So f of 2 is just equal to 1. But f of 3 is like the first time where you can't just like straight plug something in. So let me tell you how you get f of 3. And once I tell you this, you'll see like the way to go from here. The way you get f of 3 is to use the magical fact that there's a Pythagorean triple. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. Sorry. Yeah. So this is true. And this is equal to f of 5 all squared, which is f of 2 times f of 1 all squared. On the other hand, this thing is equal to f of 3 f of 4. So because this whole thing is equal to 1, and the codomain is positive integers, this is 1, and this is 1. So that's how you get F3 and F4. Okay, so more generally speaking, if you have the following characterization, f of a squared plus b squared squared is equal to f of a squared plus b squared all squared is f of a, f of b all squared, is this thing is equal to a squared minus b squared all squared plus 2ab all squared. This is sort of like a parameterization of Pythagorean triples. It generalizes to 3, 4, 5. So anyways, this is equal to f of a squared minus b squared times f of 2ab. So if you know that this a priori that this is equal to 1 and this is equal to 1, that would imply that these two are also equal to 1. And that's basically good enough for the induction, because what happens is if you know f of 1 through f of n, say, are all 1, then f of 2n plus 1, or let's say f up to 2n, f of 2n plus 1 is equal to f of n plus 1 squared minus n squared, and f of 2n plus 2 is like f of, I guess like 2 times 1 times n plus 1. Evan, what do you think winner will be? I don't know yet. I have a guess, but I don't know. I haven't been watching AOPS at all, so I don't know what people are claiming. Okay, so that completes JMO1. Like, this induction is the whole thing. Alright. What order should I do this in? Do I just do all the JMO only problems first? I think that makes sense. Let's just do all the JMO only problems first, in ascending order of difficulty, and then we'll move on to the actual USAMO problems. Nose was a mistake. Yeah, every time I run one of these review things, that's what I think to myself. Okay, for JMO4. So you have these 3 pins at A, B, and C, and you're allowed to move them by like 1 distance, and you want to make a triangle that has area 2021. So let me just look at a generic position of the pins. Let's say you have something like this. Yeah, this problem is Brandon. So we're doing all the JMO only problems first, and then we'll do the USAMO and 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6. So we're going to define the bounding box to be like the axis the axis aligned rectangle that of smallest size that contains all the points. So this is called a bounding box. And claim area of bounding box is area of the triangle is at most half the bounding box. This is not too hard to prove. You can prove it just by doing straight coordinates, or alternatively, a slightly weirder proof goes like this. Like, you take this point C and you imagine varying it along these 2 things. Because the area is linear in C, the extremes will be reached by the endpoints, and then you can check it at the endpoints because then it's 1/2 base height in both cases. So anyways, this claim is true. On the other hand, the bounding box width plus height increases by at most 1 per move. So every time you make a move, the bounding box might not change, but if it does change, it increases by at most 1. So therefore, if you make n moves, your total area is at most n over 2 squared by AMGM, because the width plus height will be at most n. Moving pins, yes. This is a moving pins problem. Okay, so this will immediately imply that n is at least 128. Because this will, if n is less than 100, if n is 127 or less, the bounding box won't be big enough. Okay, so that's the lower bound. On the other hand, the 128 is actually achievable. And the way you achieve it is to, let me just pick some coordinates. Well, okay, let's do it this way. 64. If this is 0, 0. Oh, freak, I need to shift it. Alright, I want to translate it slightly. Well, okay, no, I'm not going to translate it. Screw it. This is easier to the right. 18, 64. This is 64, 3. So if my bounding box is really 64 by 64, then from this point, 18, 3. Yeah, that should work. So if you do this, so I've shifted it, so rather it's starting at 0, 0, I'm starting at 18, 3, and then looks like that. So this will be indeed give you exactly 128 moves. On the other hand, the area that you get here by shoelace is equal to 64, 3, 18, 64. So I've rigged these constants so that this gives you exactly 4022. Sorry, 4042. Okay, so that should work fine. That's a construction. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so now let's go on to JMO3, which I think people are more interested in. So the first thing I should say is that the bound is the bound is sharp up asymptotically. I don't think it's sharp up to like exactly. But like there are pictures for which you get something close to. All right, so let me put this picture up because this is useful. Yeah, I don't think the linear part is in here. But on the other hand, so this tiling exists. Looks like this. So this is going to break a lot of wrong solutions, I think, because a lot of people try to argue that like the you know, it's sort of just the straight alternating picture, but it's not. This is actually the asymptotically tight shape. Okay, so anyways, let's prove the bound. So basically the claim is as follows. Alright, look at any downwards equilateral triangle. This solution I think was given by Andrew Gu, to give credit. This is not the author's original solution. What we're going to do is we're going to construct a hexagon that looks like this. So for every downwards equilateral triangle, I construct this hexagon. Okay, claim. The hexagons disjoint and lie inside delta. This is true. You can just check it. Okay, so because of it, you get an area bound. Because the area of this thing is, what is it? So this is like 1/2. 3 root 3 over 8. I think? Did I get that right? Probably got it wrong. So I should just read my notes. Okay, cool. No. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so 3 root 3 over 8 times n is less than or equal to root 3 over 4 L squared. So n at least 2/3 L squared, the end. Yeah, you can shift the hexagon if you want. That doesn't really matter. This one's a little easier. This is like the sharpest one for which it like lies inside the It's a little easier if you do it this way to show that they lie inside the big triangle. Yeah, 3 over 2 equilateral triangles. Yeah. After you finish the problems, will you say which problem goes where? Maybe. Yeah, I think realizing this shape exists helps a lot with the proof, because now you know, you can see the hexagons in here, really. I know. You can kind of see them. Yeah, there's other shapes you can draw that will work, because like, but basically this is sort of a general gist. Alright, cool. Let's go on. So USAMO 2021-1 is a geo. So I'm curious whether like there's any solutions to USAMO 1 that aren't the official one. Yeah, this problem is a bit of a art school. I think all the solutions today are going to be quick. I think every problem is like pretty quick to carry out. Alright, so you have these rectangles. Anyways, the angle condition tells you something. It tells you the circumcircles of rectangles are concurrent. That's sort of what the angle condition does. So if you take one circle and then a different circle, these two angles will add up to this last one. Let me use a highlighter or something. That will work. So this is exactly what the angle condition says. It's like when you take two intersections, the third one lies on there. Okay, what does that do? Well, now this angle is 90 because it's a rectangle. Also, this angle is 90. So it lies on one diagonal, hence lies on all three. The end! Bryan-Kahn's theorem. Okay, so now let's do Carl's problem. Oh, is it Bryan-Kahn? I have no idea. Okay, USAMO 4. Okay, so the answer is S should be a power of 2, or if you are a keeper of the empty set, I guess S equals the empty set works as well. Technically. We're doing 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6 is the order. Oh no, if you will mess this one up. Well, empty doc, I really hope not. But also, like... yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so let me tell you what the construction is. What you do is you take primes. Oh, let me write multiplication actually. You take like two E distinct primes. And then you look at all 2 to the E products of this form, so P1 or Q1, P2 or Q2, etc. Okay, this just works. You can check it. If you take, like, say, without loss of generality, look at the element that's all the top row, then, for every GCD, you flip the corresponding ones. Okay, so now let's show the bound. Or, not the bound. So, let's suppose you have a hypothetical element n equals like p1 to the e1 times... let's just do p to the e actually. Times blah. So other stuff. Where e is greater than 2. I claim this is impossible. Alright, and here's why. So on the one hand, if you look at the divisors of n, you see that, like, by taking the GCDs, you get, like, a lot of things are divisible by p, right? Like e over e plus 1 of the elements in S has a p in it. Okay, on the other hand, let's take any m such that VP of m equals 1, which you can do because you take something that has, say, e.g., among other things, GCD m comma n equals p would be good enough. Okay, now if I look at divisors of m, we see that m has VP equals 1, so the elements of S line up with the divisors of m. Half of them are divisible by p, half of them aren't. So 1/2 of S has p. I just go down. Okay, so these two things are equal. So this implies E equals 1. Yeah, that's it. How do you get the construction without solving? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you get the construction for 4 things, like, you kind of know what's going on. Like, 4 I think is big enough for you to see the general situation. Yeah, also if it's square free, this answer is certainly the powers of 2, if you can show it square free. Alright, let's go on to USAMO 2. This one actually might be easier for me to, because I have diagrams prepared for this one. Alright, so I put the planar version. I just gotta say, God, the wording this problem was such a nightmare. We still didn't get it right, even after that. I'm whatever. Actually, no. Let me keep using the board. Yeah, it really should have said any particular junction. Yeah, I want to say, do you know how annoying it is to be just all these papers that have these like 40 vertex graphs on them that just going left, right, left, right, left, right, and it's just like drawn with no labels. Yeah, I think I think what we should do is make an art gallery out of all the wonderful constructions that people managed to invent on this problem. Anyways. Yeah, I think the thing is, if you interpret any junction as like the length of a path, like the problem is obviously not functional, right? Like there's no way the length of the path will be ever bounded, like, period. Okay, so there are many constructions. Like there's so many that like this is probably the simplest one that is explicit. There's other ways you can make it smaller if you're willing to like truncate things. Like if you draw a vertex of degree 1 and then don't draw the stuff adjacent to it, that's fine. I think this is like the smallest self-contained example that I saw so far. Where if you go like this, it should work. Okay, so let's prove the bound. I should say the answer. Yeah, answer 3. Yeah, the plane is only there so that left and right makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter. So, the gist of the proof is as follows. So at any vertex, there are a number of possible turns, right? So really there's 6 possible turns because you can go in from one of 3 ways and you can either turn left or turn right. So and then the opposite ones. So there's 6 turns, and a turn uniquely determines everything else. What I mean by this is like, if you know, for example, that the visitor turns like this, if you know this turn shows up, ew, what is that? That's not a highlight. Good. Then it uniquely determines the rest of the path. So this automatically implies that you can't visit more than 6 times, because if you... It tells you that the trajectory is totally periodic, not just eventually periodic, because it determines both before and after. So, totally periodic. Trajectory. So this will give you a bound of 6. However, I make the following claim, which is that you can't have both this and that. So claim no ABC plus CBA can occur. Thank you, Boff, for the follow. And the reason is that, well, I actually have a diagram prepared for this. Maybe I'll just post that one. Okay. Shoot. Yeah, so here's a diagram, which is basically why you can't. So if you had a turn here and the same turn here, when you trace out what happens next, you find that these 2 paths are always like, you know, doing the same thing, going back and forth in the same way. And so red and blue paths here will... Red and, I guess, the backtrack of the blue path will never meet. Contradiction. So hence at most 3 visits to each vertex. Yeah, so the proposer mentions a couple things in their comments. It is an old folklore problem, not very famous, but it is known to that the total periodicity, that is a past problem. You can find that in like old Moscow Olympiad and so year. I forget exactly what year the reference was. The other is that in fact you can get graphs for which you visit like 99% of the vertices 3 times in your trajectory. This was not Oncon. The author of this problem is Zoran Sunik. Yeah. Okay, cool. Which Russia problem? I don't know the exact reference. I remember it was... It's like old. It's like before 2000s. But I don't remember the exact reference off my head. Alright, we're on a roll. Alright, let's do the giant system. Okay, so here's a system of equations. The answer is exactly what you think it would be. The only answer is 1, 2, 1, 2, so on. Alright, so here's the proof. So we're gonna do Andrew's proof, right? So we're going to look at the min and the max across all the numbers. There's a sense in which positive reals is important, right? If you want to solve this system with our complex numbers, you're dead. Like, you can't solve a system like this over the complex numbers because you know that you'll get some high degree polynomial, and that polynomial will have, you know, however many complex roots it does. So the fact that the problem is asking for positive reals is really important. Like, it tells you that you're supposed to use something about the fact that it's reals and not complex. And the way we're going to use it is we're going to use this min and max. Okay, so if you look at the indices that reach the min and max, so, you know, there's an index that's called the index I, right? That gets the... So I'm looking at just the even ones because these equations are sort of stupid. Yeah. Like I'm just gonna go... You can eliminate half the variables at once. I guess it doesn't really matter which ones I eliminate. Let's eliminate the even ones for the sake of my narrative. So we're gonna just get rid of the equations on the left right away and just plug those in. So the equation looks like this for even indices. We take the min and max and you get a statement that looks like this. Alright? Why was n at least 4 stated? Oh, it's because we were worried that because the equation's actually right up to 7, right? Like, it's explicitly given up to 7, so if n is less than 4, then some degeneracy occurs in which the statement doesn't technically make sense. I mean, obviously what you're supposed to take the indices mod to n, but like, yeah, it's just there. Yeah, don't read into it. It's just there so that the 7 doesn't break things. Okay, where was I? Alright, so the natural thing you might try to do is bound these by the little m to get some inequality on little m, but actually it will be better for us if we use capital M as our bound. So this will be at least 2m plus 2 over capital M. The reason is that this is now symmetric in little m and capital M. So if I do the same thing on the other way with whatever index achieves the min or the max, this will be less than or equal to 2 over m plus 2 over capital M. Okay, so m at least 2 over m plus 2 over m at least m. So min at least max, and hence m equals m. And yeah. So now they're all equal. That's it. Yeah. Solution credits to Andrew. Show the algorithm solution. Which one is the algorithm? The one where you do like the random Cauchy-Schwarz? I think this thing is not that unmotivated. This is a thing that you do a lot with. Okay, fine. I'll show the Cauchy-Schwarz. So first of all, sum of AI is equal to A2i. If you do straight sum here, sum of A over 2i is equal to sum of 4 over... what am I saying? The sum of the numbers is equal to the sum of 4 times the sum of the reciprocals. On the other hand, if I take this equation and divide it by A over 2k, then I will get the sum relation, which is... freaking... 1 equals A2k, A2k squared, A2k. So this is true. And the reason for writing it this way is because now when I take the sum, this thing works out pretty well. This thing will be exactly equal to the sum of like 1 over A 2k minus 2 plus 1 over A 2k squared. Okay, and obviously the left-hand side is exactly n. So what happens is this thing gives you a lower bound on the sum, because by Cauchy-Schwarz, the product of these two things is at least like n or whatever. On the other hand, this thing, if you apply Cauchy-Schwarz, if you use like Cauchy-Schwarz or QMAM to get rid of the squares, it will give you a upper bound. Yeah, it will give you an upper bound on the sum of 1 over 2i. So the top one gives you a lower bound on... In fact, let me just call this S, alright? The point is this thing is at least like... oh crap, I'm gonna mess this up. S squared over 1 over n or something? I don't know what the constant is, Jesus. What do I think S is? We think S is 2n. 4n squared. Left hand side is n. 4n. Okay, whatever. Whatever the number is. So now you have both a lower bound and an upper bound on S. The upper bound because S squared is at least n squared times 4. So the upper and lower bound match, and that will force all the numbers to be equal as well. So this is sort of the algorithm solution, where if you do this division exactly, it will come out to an inequality. I honestly think this one is more motivated, because like, I don't know if you've seen, like there's problems with the form. You know that problem that's like, you have a graph and like every vertex has a number, and that number is the average of the neighbors, and show that every connected component has the same number. And you know, you look at the min and the max, because those are the ones that will cause the most problems. I think it's reasonable to want to try that here as well, because you have a... You know size matters because it's positive reals. You cannot solve this system of equations over complex numbers. And consequently, if you look at the min and max, then all you need to do is make the right observation that this thing actually is 2 over m. Like the first thing you'll probably try is to bound this above by like 2 over little m, and you get little m less than or equal to 2 less than or equal to capital M. But if you flip it this way to get a lower bound on little m, that's the direction that will work. Algmip is cool. Okay. I don't know. I'm not an algebraic manipulations person. I don't know how to motivate them. This one is at least a little conceptual. It's like, this thing automatically gives you a lower bound on the sum, so if you can get an upper bound on S, you're done, because the upper bound will match at the equality case. So, you know, that's your upper bound. Yeah, IMO 2018-2 is a different problem. That was something like that. Okay, let's go on. Alright, so this problem. Okay, so you can do this some random operation, and it's pretty easy to see that for n equals 3, the goal is achievable, because what you do is, let me just draw a picture. Oh, frick, no! I forgot the fragile option. Ah! We're doing it live. Which means that I get to screw up things. Okay. Thank you, Fort Nalka, for the follow. Yeah, this is really the reason this is considered politically correct to have on the same day as the other combo problem is because the solution is actually algebra. Alright, so I think the problem statement is not important because you guys know what the problem says by now, so let me just move it. But here's the construction for n equals 3. So you put two L's, clear this row, do that, clear them both. So consequently, consequently you can also do it for any multiple of 3 by just repeating this pattern. So we are only going to pay attention to showing that n doesn't not divisible by 3 will all fail. And the big thing about this problem is I'm going to relax. There's a condition in here that you can't place a stone on, you can't have more than one stone per cell. We're going to ignore it. So ignore less than or equal to 1 stone constraint. We're not going to use this constraint for this direction. Also, we'll even allow real weights. Like, you can apply the operation a fractional number of times, and it's also okay. So this is a big leap of faith. I'm like just saying I'm going to throw away a bunch of conditions that could have been used. Was your solution to one involving circles? Yes. Yeah, so the 0, 1 is not necessary. That's what I'm about to say. Like, I'm just going to throw away all of the combinatorics. Oh no, your solution had no circles. Okay. Okay, so what's going on? In the problem we have, if you let p of x, y, so we'll do generating function in the following sense. So this is the x to the 0, y to the 0. This is like x to the 0, y to the 1, up to like x to the n minus 1, y to the n minus 1. So our operation corresponds to polynomial p such that degree of p is less than or equal to, let me write this all. Degree x, degree y, n minus 2, n minus 2, and we have 1 plus x plus y times p of xy. So basically, like, you can pick anything that's not in the topmost thing, and it's like, x to the a, y to the b, x to the a plus 1, y to the b, x to the a, y to the b plus 1. That's what we're going to do. Evan, what if I screwed up the degrees? I don't know. Oh. Good luck. Alright, so the point is that this thing apparently corresponds to something where I can clear all the rows and columns. So it means it's in like 1 plus x up to x to the n minus 1 times something, some y polynomial. We'll call it blah of y. I want to emphasize it doesn't really matter what it is, honestly. It can even have other stuff mixed in. So a successful clearing corresponds to a non-zero polynomial p such that this is true. So p tells us where to place the trominos, and this thing on the right tells us where to clear rows and columns. Again, I don't care at all about the less than 1 stone constraint. I'm doing everything with real multiplicity, and it's okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug in x equals nth root of unity, which is not equal to 1. Y is also equal to the same thing. So when I plug in such a number, this thing equals 0 and this thing equals 0. Also, because 3 doesn't divide n, this thing is never 0, because the only way you can have roots of unity that sum 3 roots of unity that sum to 0 is if they're an equilateral triangle or whatever. I said your name wrong. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so, cool. So what this means is that p of xy is vanishes on a lot of stuff, right? Like p of xy is equal to 0 for... Oh crap, I'm out of space. Let's zoom out a little bit. P of xy is equal to 0 for all xy in like s times s, where this is a set of size n minus 1. Namely the roots of unity. Okay, on the other hand, this contradicts this thing. If you really want to be highbrow, you can quote combinatorial no-Stellensatz, but really what happens is polynomial with bounded degree in x and bounded degree in y can't vanish on an larger than degree by larger than degree grid like this. Thank you, Cho RMHU, for the follow. It's not really combo null. Combo null is stronger because combo null can work even if hang on, what's the condition? Combo null can work under weaker conditions. Combo null is you take a term of maximal total degree and you can take sets of size larger than the exponents. What I mean for this is like here, let me give an example. If your polynomial p had was like equal to x cubed plus y cubed plus x squared times y to the 4, you could apply combo null to a 4x4 grid by using the fact that this monomial is non-zero, but you can't apply just degree bounds, like, because this is degree 4. So combo null promises you can use that term. And for this particular problem, the degree condition is so strong that combo null works for any term. But combo null is a little more precise than that. Yeah, so the manual proof is you plug in a value of, if for a fixed value of y, the degree is small enough that all the coefficients are 0, so the coefficients, which are polynomials in x, are now 0 at n points, n minus 1 points, and then it kind of burns. But basically, it for degree reasons, it doesn't work. Like, the degree conditions here are actually stronger than what you need. I kind of dislike this problem because of the fact the idea is somewhat well known. Okay. Da-da-da. Some people don't get it. I mean, I don't think anyone will be surprised like at all if we can find like there exists other Math Olympiad problems where you use roots of unity weight, right? Like that's just like a technique, and I think it's fine, right? Like I think I would be annoyed if it was like, because it's well known, a bunch of people just solve it because without having to think. But I don't think this problem is such a problem. Evan Mo's ratings? I don't know. I'm gonna wait until I see. The most ratings will go up on my website eventually once I decide how hard I think the problems are. But I want to see the scores first. I went into grading thinking that the scores were going to be pretty high, and now I don't think the scores are going to be pretty high. What do you think the difficulty order is? I think it's for USAMO. I think it was about right. Do I hate Geo? No. Like, I think if I was a contestant, it would be 142536 for me. Well, okay, maybe I would have thought 5 was easier than 2. I'm not sure. But I'm just bad at algebraic manipulations in general. Whereas 2 is a little more conceptual. Alright, let's do the hexagon geo. So we're going to present the black magic solution, alright? So I'm going to put a diagram. This diagram is deliberately not to scale. It only has the parallel condition used, and I don't make the side condition. I think if I draw it this way, it is easier to see what is going on. So this diagram is not to scale, deliberately. It is all a metaphor. What we're going to do is we're going to draw parallel lines in red through A, C, and E, parallel to the opposite sides, and same for in green for B, D, and F. Let me make this a little bigger actually, and take the whole screen. So red, green. Oh crap, that's too big. No, get back, get back. Okay, so these two triangles you can very quickly check are congruent because the lengths are equal to like the differences of like these things, blah blah blah. Also, like X is the midpoint of AD, it's the midpoint of MN. That'll be relevant in just a moment. Here is the beauty, all right? Claim AC if AB times DE equals BC times EF equals CD times FA, then ACE and A prime C prime E prime have the same circumcenter. And the reason is that the power of the point, let's take the point C, okay? What is the power of C with respect to A prime C prime E prime? It is given by this length here, which is the bottom, times this length here, which is AB. So this length is always equal to AB times DE. So consequently, if these three things are all equal, ACE all have the same power. So they lie on the same, they have the same distance. Okay, so now if they have the same circumcenter, then it's enough to show that the circumcenter of A prime C prime E prime, the circumcenter of B prime D prime F prime, and the orthocenter of XYZ are collinear. So why have I drawn X here? It tells you that X is the midpoint of this midpoint and this midpoint. So XYZ is like the average of the medial triangle of this red thing and this thing, this green thing. So XYZ is the average of the medial triangles of A prime C prime E prime and B prime D prime F prime. And therefore, its orthocenter of XYZ becomes, because the orthocenter of the medial triangle is the circumcenter of the reference triangle, that tells you in fact this orthocenter is the midpoint of these two circumcenters. End proof. I will say, this is not the author solution. This was found by contestants. We were looking, like, we were combing through the problem 6s, and we saw the solution, and we were just like, holy crap. Yeah, we're done. That's all 9 problems. How fast will grading be? problem 3 and problem 6 are very easy to comb through. Most of the solutions are obvious zeros. The official solution is something like slightly longer. The official solution goes along the lines of like showing that the medial triangles of ACE and BDF are concyclic, or the 9-point circles of triangles AC and BDF turn out to coincide, and also the circumcenter coincides with the circumcenter of XYZ. So it's like similar in spirit, but it's a little less compact. Yeah, but I think this one is like the cleanest way of presenting it, because it's just like the solution is almost shorter than the problem statement. Evan, is this bashable? I don't know. Evan, are you allowed to say if you think... Oh, I am allowed to say, and right now I don't really know. Because I actually haven't even been looking at AOPS, so I don't know like what kind of scores people are claiming. It will be a while. I probably won't look at AOPS at all for a while, honestly, because I don't want to figure out whose solution is whose. But yeah, well, you'll see. I don't know much either. I know less than you guys do because I'm not watching the forums about what the scores are going to look like. Yeah, I mean, if you do the 9-point circle thing, then like the chess match. What Otis unit is this problem? I don't honestly. I was thinking about Weird Geo, but I don't think it really works that well. It has a little more. Yeah, I think it would be better in G6 Summit than Weird Geo. Yeah, I don't think this quite fits Courage. It's such a setup problem. It is. Yeah. Does Evan check Discord? Sometimes. I get a lot of messages, so it's hard for me to keep track. If you have something actually important, you should email me instead. What's your email? Look on my website. It's just there. Alright. Yeah, I think it's a little too synthetic for Weird Geo, is my feeling as well. Where's your website? Is that a serious question? Alright, so that concludes the review. Where's the website? Look at like literally any stream, like at the very top of the stream, alright? Like no, it's oh my god. Where am I? Good question. Oh yeah, Evan, you're on the news. I am? Which news? LA Times. Really? Oh, now I want to see this. Okay, did people get baited? Is latimes.com like not the name of the website or something? Oh, is that iatimes.com or something? Is that the trick? Because I was like, is latimes.com like not the website? But I see, okay, IA Times. That is... I'm surprised that LA Times hasn't done anything about that. Okay, and where was I? Right, okay, we're done with USAMO already. I was gonna play Celeste, but we could play something else in principle. Oh, what has happened? We were doing USAMO solutions, but we're done. We did all 9 problems in like an hour. 2022. Can we solve problems? Oh my god, you're gonna make me do math. I know someone submits a problem request. What is 2014 A3? Is this something I want to do? Let me see. The problem is my brain is a little fried right now because I spent a little too much time today like inputting what are they? Oh my god. This statement is longer than the planar park statement. Did I miss the AMO review? Unfortunately, yes. It was really fast. We did both JMO and USAMO. I haven't done 2048 though, but oh no. We did this problem last time and solved it. How do you do 9 problems in an hour? All the problems are really short. There were no problems for which there were a lot of annoying details, I think. Like if you do the problems correctly, the solutions are all like less than a page. No one told me. Check YouTube in a bit. No. Am I muted? Not yet. Wait, okay, we kind of glossed over stuff. Like, I didn't spill out all the details of the proof that, for example, a triangle is the most half its bounding box, but I gave the... I think I've said enough that people should be able to work the rest out. Like, it's you know, it's linear, so check the endpoints. Yeah, this will go up on YouTube probably tomorrow. Am I still not muted? Are you trying to get muted? Because you're not helping your case. Oh, I'll give you a hint. If you're muted, it will tell you. Okay, there you go. That's what it looks like when you're muted. 2012 Elmo shortlist NA. Do I actually want to do math though? Is the thing. I'm like pretty tired. Also, I only muted him for 60 seconds, so it's not actually supposed to be punitive. Oh, alright. What do? Celeste. He's probably spam after the 60 seconds. Well, we'll just mute him again. How was organizing Perpendicular Institute of the World? It was so much fun. Oh man. I think like after... Oh my gosh, you guys are gonna make me do math. Why did I get muted? Well, you seemed really desperate to find out what the muted message looked like, so... Wait, it's only 60 seconds. "60 seconds is so long." Okay. Alright, so what's invisible tank? You can fire, whatever. Okay. Alright, alright, looks like we're doing math. Send in the problem requests. I'm taking tomorrow's stream. Alright, okay. Let me finish this poll. Alright. Alright, so which problem? So there's the essay, USAMO shortlist 2012 N8. Wait, is 2012 N8 the one about n-x squared and n-x squared? Because if so, I'm not doing it. That problem is open. I'm pretty sure. No, that's the N9. Okay. I lost all my channel points from gambling on Oncon proposals. This is why when you gamble, you shouldn't bet your entire, like, everything you have. Thanks for being here. Thanks for streaming. Yeah. Alright, is it just these four? Anything else? It's my first time watching the stream. Welcome to the stream. We run this every Friday actually. Today's a special occasion because of the USAMO, but normally every Friday night I'll be here, not solving problems. Trying my best to solve problems or something. Oh Jesus, construction. Okay, going once, going twice. What is that? Alright. Alright. Alright, so those are the candidates. Yeah, I have no idea what that CCCC one is. Don't vote for things you don't know about. We should probably show the statements. All of these look like combo. I don't know. Alright, well, I'll be right back. Construction, so it's just these 5 things in order. So construction is the rectangle reconstruction. No one wants to do the Canada problem, huh? Alright, be right back. You know what? I'm gonna vote for the Canada problem. Canada's Olympiad is good. You're late. Alright. That's fine. We had enough combo? Yeah. Alright, so rectangle construction, there's a tank, and Canada. That's probably the ones we'll do today. Man, I was looking forward to getting to play video games. Well. I'll return the others now. How did my random construction get selected? My good Russian combo didn't last time. I don't know. Oh, I just realized Canada 2021 4 is in my database, but I don't know the solution. Someone suggested it for Otis, and I added it, but I didn't actually look at it yet. Okay, so that's gonna be fun. Is the construction even doable? Maybe, I don't know. Can't you only construct like algebra? Well, I assume the length is given. Like the ratio should be given, I think. right? They give you two segments in the desired ratio or whatever. Basically, you have access to the ratio some way, and then try to construct it from there. Okay. Alright, let's do the YouTube intro. I don't know if I'm gonna solve this. I'm a little scared. Okay, welcome back everyone. So, we have a compass and ruler construction problem. So here, you have some given ratio k, which we'll say for convenience that there's like a 1 to k segment given to you so that you can access the whatever length it is. And you want to construct a rectangle with aspect ratio 1 to k, given 1 point on each of its 4 sides. So like point, 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 or something like that. Yeah, I assume the ratio is geometrically given, because if it's not, then you can take any non-constructible ratio and it's not possible. Not a lot to go off of. So in general, what you really want is sort of an angle. So, well, I think you definitely maybe start by doing the following. We're going to start by constructing these 4 semicircles, alright? So you know, each of these things, you can draw a semicircle in it. So it's sort of, once you pick one of the points, it will uniquely determine the rest of them. Alright, that's fine. Are the points random on the sides? Yeah, I think you are not given any information. So they should be random. So how can I control ratios? It's like you have a point. I imagine like I have like a variable point here or something, and as I move it, the ratio that I get will change in a certain way. So there's a dumb thing which I think in principle, like, you know this length, you know this length, you know this length or something, and then I also know this angle and this angle. So on paper, you know, you could compute what is the angle theta for which a certain trig equation is true, because you can compute all the lengths in terms of theta, and you solve for theta, and it'll be some constructible quantity, because you do you have extra information? I don't think so. Is that true? No, I don't think there's any extra. That's kind of bad though. We're not gonna do it. We probably don't want to do that. Is 4 points not sufficient to reconstruct a rectangle? No, the way you see it is you can, if you have 4 points, you can draw a locus of rectangles to them by, you just pick the angle of the lines. That's basically what you do. You pick two perpendicular ruling for one pair and perpendicular ruling for the other pair. Like Noella has it already, huh? No ratio of projection, AC. Okay, so let's scrap the semicircles. Oh crap. Per BD. So if I pick a line through here, I see. Okay, so this length is known, this length is known, and okay, man, that'll probably work. Yeah. So the point is that the width of the rectangle, if I pick L and M as the directions, let's call this one L, this one M, this length is equal to the BD times the sine of the angle from, sorry, cosine of the BD to M, and this length will be equal to AC times the cosine of the line AC to L. I should have whatever. So this is equal to BD times sine of BD over L or whatever. So you know BD, you know AC. The ratio between them is is area dot product projection. Yeah. You're too zoomed in for us? Oh, I really zoomed in. So yeah, you'd like this is kind of G, I'm not good at. B prime D equals B. Okay. Switch. So yeah, there's like b prime. So you scale by k or whatever. It's k. So you want an L such that the what do I want? Why do I have a sine in one place and a cosine in the other? That's not what I want, right? You just get rid of it when you take the perp. The claim is that this is the direction of L. So AC times cosine. Hang on, oh bad. This something like this should work. I am really confusing myself. AC cos AC. Translating AC to BC prime makes the problem easier. Hang on. Wait, why are they... AC cos. Okay, I actually want to rotate AC instead, I think. So we're gonna rotate this so that we get sine instead. So I'm gonna imagine like this is A prime, so we rotate it by 90 degrees. Okay, and now the blue line. So this one got scaled by k, this one got rotated by 90 degrees. Now you look at this thing, this is L, this, and now the sine is equal. So A prime C sine A prime C L is definitely equal to B prime D sine B prime D L. Okay, how should work? So this becomes AC cos ACL. This one is like K times BD times sine BDL. Okay. I apparently am not very good with normal vectors. Alright, that's fine. I did not work out any of the sides. Yeah, I could tell. I was like, but yeah, no, it's fine. Right, so that will give you the direction of L. Once you have the direction of L, you're fine. I'm surprised the semicycles are completely useless, but maybe that's okay. Basically, the premise is that the condition you want is a certain projection equals some other projection, and if you fudge it, then you can make them both equal to this. Geometrically, that's what's happening. And if you use the language of dot product, it's probably easier to think about. Alright, we did it. Okay, so we have Canada 2021 for next, right? Okay, welcome back. So today we have, what the heck? Okay, we have a functional equation from Canada where a function f from c plus to z plus is Canadian if it satisfies like whatever this condition is. Are those parentheses mismanipulated? Okay, double f. Okay, so GCD of f of x and f of x plus y is GCD xy. And you'd like to find all points that must be fixed. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so let's see. So it's not quite symmetric, right? It's almost symmetric where ffy and ffx. So GCD ff x x plus y. I don't know if this matters, but it's almost symmetric, so swap. There's automatically a swapping thing that you can do. I don't know if that helps at all. Okay, identity function seems the obvious example. I can probably, let's see. The GCD condition is really strange though. So if I fix a value of x, so there's like some value of f of x, then f of x plus y. I wonder if I would be better off just saying the no. That's not better. So it's true like x divides. She's x y. At the very least, it is true that GCD xy always divides f of x plus y. That alone actually is quite a constraint. Because f of f term, I'm not really sure what to do with yet. But this condition is pretty strong. Like, for example, it tells me that if I have an even input that's not 2, like any input, even input that's not 2 will be even. So in general, like f of n, if m divides n and m is strictly less than n, then f of m divides f of n. For example, I wonder if I can read anything else. No, that's all I get out of this, right? Yeah, that's all I get out of that line of thinking. X divides f of x. Y? Oh, yeah. Except for prime powers. Yeah. Okay, so x divides f of x if x is not a prime power. I agree, because you can split it into also this, there's no n here. X divides f of x if x is not a prime power. Okay, well that helps a lot. That will now I can try to read something out of this nested f, right? Because this nested f will be divisible by I don't freaking know. Pull out. Okay, I'm gonna start constructing some functions actually. I want to see if I can have a function that mostly works except at like f of 1. So here's a silly example. F of x equals x for x at least 2, but f of 1 is equal to 7. I think that is a... Because you can't really plug in 1 into here, f of 1, the value of f of 1 is only read in one place, when this x is equal to 1. And if this is 7, 2, it checks out. So, at the very least, okay, so that's fine. But more generally, if x and... I'm trying to think if I can get a function that like is mostly fixed except for like, say, 1 prime. Is that something I can do? Wait, does this not work? X equals 1. Y equals... Oh, I'm stupid. Sorry, you're correct. Frick. So what does f of 1 want to... It has to be 1, right? Never mind. Sorry, this doesn't work. Alright, what did I... I kind of like rephrasing this. Oh, actually, I agree. That rephrasing is better. Yeah. We should totally do that. Rephrasing. So GCD of f of x, f of y is equal to GCD of xy for x less than y. That is better actually. That way, now it's clear that the addition doesn't matter in this problem. Like the addition operation doesn't matter. X less than y is such a... Huh. So if I let x equals 1, then what does that promise me? It promises me that f of 1 is relatively prime to f of y for any y at least 2. Can I try to use that to pin down f of 1? Oh, f of 1 actually should equal 1, because otherwise you can let like x equals 1 and y equals f of 1. So if f of 1 is greater than 1, then f of 1 is always relatively prime to f of So either way, ff1 equals 1. That is always true. Perpendicular just means relatively prime. It's a nice shorthand. It's shorter than writing a GCD equals 1. Dot product equals 0. Yes. It is not a very common notation, but I like it a lot. It is intuitive and it is compact. So either way, ff1 equals 1. I don't know if that helps. If f1 is greater than 1, can I plug that in for something? If f of 1 equals c greater than 1, then I'll plug in x equals c to get GCD of f of 1, f of y equals GCD cy for y greater than some constant. So if c equals 1, this statement is useless. What if c is not equal to 1? GCD. So ffc, so GCD fc fy equals GCD cy for y greater than c. I don't know if that's helpful actually. That might just be... I really want c equals 1, but I don't know if I can get it. Yeah, this kind of sucks. Try finding a non-trivial solution first. I think this function is an involution. I had the same thought. I was thinking like it would probably, but I can't prove it. So we had a thing that showed ff1 equals 1. So can I get that to do? In general, if f of x, right, okay, so f of 1 is equal to 1. And so, like, for example, let's look at f of 2, right? X divides f of x divides f of x. So yeah, this is only, we don't have x divides f of x unconditionally. We only have it for a prime power. But like, so let me GCD of f of, so f of 2 cannot equal 1, right? So yeah, I think I think it still show. Like I want to run into a contradiction with this. If f of 2 is equal to 1. In general, if f of x is ever less than x, then we get GCD of f of x is equal to just dx f of x. This is exactly given by f. No, actually, that's not amazing. Oh, actually, it's not. Hang on. So this statement seems a bit off to me because we are supposed to have, we have this statement for non-prime powers, right? X divides f of x if x is not a prime power. Did I screw up the sign? Oh crap! I screwed up the sign. If x less than f of x, which we think should be the case for most things. So if x is strictly less than f of x, then this is true. But this thing is supposed to be divisible by f of x. Okay, so if x is not a prime power, okay, here. I think we have the following. Claim if x is not a prime power, then x equals. Wait, really? Really? That seems better than what I thought. That seems too good to be true. No, I don't believe that. Okay, let me write the proof and see where I made a mistake. So since x is not a prime power, we have x divides f of x. That's what we established earlier. And in particular, f of x is not a prime power. So f of x. So f of x divides f of x. So assume that x is less than f of x. Then we throw this thing that I have in. And now the left-hand side is too small, so x equals fx equals f of x for this to be true. Did I mess up? I just feel like I just stumbled into this. Yeah, this rewriting is good. I think I'm gonna move this up earlier because we actually don't even. This is the right way to think about it. So also, how do we get this again? It's like just GCD xy divides f of x. In the statement, this is y. Yeah, GCD xy divides f of y for all x less than y. That makes it clearer. So I'm going to throw this away because I don't think we care about it. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Okay, I also don't care about this F1 stuff anymore because that was a special. That's a special case of this. Well, okay, actually no. Maybe I care a little bit that f of f1 equals 1. Okay, so now we know the function is fixed for like a whole crap ton of stuff, and that should almost do it. So if x is now if we have a prime power, So I guess what I do is I can start sampling like really composite numbers y, right? And this will tell me that if I fix any x, then look at fix x, pick a big composite y, like lots of prime factors. So fix x, and let y equals like, I don't know, x plus 3 factorial or something suitably composite. Let me do x plus f of x plus 3 factorial. Or, enough that you can read all the information you care about. Like you just pad y with like a total crap ton of prime factors. You conclude f of f equals x for every x. So x is indeed an involution. And now, now what? So now the condition is GCD of x of f of y equals GCD xy for x less than y, and also f of x equals x. That's what the problem boils down to. So the only thing that we haven't dealt with is prime powers. We know that the prime powers, we know it's an involution at least. So I wonder if what you do is like, do you just juggle the primes or something? Yeah. Right, okay, that's good. So p to the e minus 1. So let me write this. So, and if f is a prime power, then p to the e minus 1. Therefore, moreover, because it's an involution, yeah, primes only interact with each other. So, in particular, this means that f of 1 should be 1, I hope. No, is that true? Can f of 1 switch with f of 2? So let's see, if f of 1 switches with f of 2, f of 1, no, that doesn't work. We tried that already earlier, right? No, actually, I think f of 1 can switch with f of 2, right? Claim shows f of 1 equals 1. 1 is a prime power. Is 1 a prime power? Are you serious? No, I think I'm not crazy. I think the function defined by like f of 1 equals 2 and f of 2 equals 1 and f of x is cx for x at least 3 should... This should work, right? So the only things I have to do is plug in y equals 1. Nothing there to check. Plug in y equals 2. When y equals 2, x equals 1, so it's still fine. Yeah, so I think f of 1 is not necessarily 1. Yeah, so 1 and primes are not good. But I think you can you juggle two primes that are like, you know, we'll juggle p with p to the e plus 1, p to the e plus 1 with p to the e, and x equals x for all others. So there's only two values that are corrupted. When I plug in y equals p to the e here, nothing breaks. So this will be p to the e plus 1, but because x is less than y, the power can't get high enough for it to matter. On the other hand, if I plug in p to the e plus 1, that might break actually. So this is p to the e. This is p to the e plus 1. No, 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 it's okay, actually, because x is less than y still, so you never get a power higher than... Okay, so you can juggle prime powers like this, right? Okay, I think that does it. Yeah. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. See, this is why like problems like this should just ask the student to find all functions. It's no fun when they do this, because then you know in advance what's gonna happen. Like you know that there's gonna be some function that's not what you expect. This rephrasing is really, I think, the thing that helped us a lot. When you write it this way, it's much clearer what's going on. Because here it looks like the addition operation matters, but it really doesn't. Classifying all functions is kind of hard. What? No, because the thing a prime can only switch with its like... Oh, actually, maybe you're worried about multiple switches. Okay, maybe it's actually pretty annoying to write down. The thing is you can't... Yeah, there has to be different primes, so... Yeah. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to do quickly write this up. This should be pretty quick to write up. Yeah. Swaps of... Really? No, I feel like if you swap p squared and p cubed and then also swap p to the 4th and p to the 5th, then... No, never mind. You're right. It's fine. Yeah, so it's any disjoint swaps. Okay, so... All right. Okay, so... Prove... Okay. Can... Yeah. I'll put it as alternate solution, I guess. I won't need to delete the old one. There's no prime powers. Integer which is not. Okay. Actually, I don't even need this step, right? You don't actually need involution, it just makes it easier to check what's going on. We use the involution to motivate the construction, but we don't actually need it in the proof itself. So our solution looks like that. Is this LaTeX? Yes. Actually, we don't need this step either. So we can consolidate this by okay, that's an extra itemized. All right. Thank you, Data Calculator, for the cheer. Are you using Text Studio? No, this is the left is Vim, the right is just a PDF viewer. I'm using LaTeX MK. So yeah, auto preview is not hard to set up. It's a thing you can just do. Construction. There's no W in construction. Yeah, this is really good. Rewriting it this way to make it clear the addition is irrelevant. That's worth commenting. Okay. Where two constructions can be unified by letting p equals 0. That's fair. p to the e plus 1. Cool. All right. Yeah, this is good. We got it. Once you squeeze out the parts that were motivational only, it's actually quite short. Looks like that. Yeah, this is a good problem. Putting sentence periods in math mode has always been so strange. Problem and solution, yeah. Okay, so okay, do I want to do the last problem? Can have. Alright, we'll do one more. Okay. Yeah, people made me do math. Oh, actually, I definitely will need the board for this. All right. Okay, so okay, that's the YouTube intro. Okay, welcome back. So today we have a problem about tank. So you have a 100 by 100 table, and you can fire at some cells on the board, and you would like to hit the tank eventually. That's all. So So someone, yeah, 200 or 199. So if I So I think you can kind of think of it as follows. Like initially the tank can be anywhere. Once you fire a thing, then so like suppose for illustration's sake, I like fire at this 4x4 square or something, right? So that means the tank is not here anymore without loss generality. And then after that, you fill up the 4 orthogonally. So like you draw some X's on the cells you fire, and then any cell that is not completely surrounded by X's becomes eligible again. So if K was 4, for example, and fired like that, then you would end up with that shape. Okay, afterwards. So that's sort of the way the process should work. So 100 already works. Let's see, what is the reason why? So if you start by doing this, then initially the tank was somewhere here. Wait, how does 100 work? Assume a parity and then try both. Hang on. How does that work? Because in particular, the tank can move, doesn't have to change columns. You can like move up or down. I feel like if you fire this way and then like after the operation, the feasible space is still like the same set. I think. The tank must move. Yes, I agree. Did I mismodel this problem? Interesting. Okay. So the idea is you sweep the diagonals. Wait, so what, how did I screw up my model? Like, I agree the strategy works, but that means I made a mistake somewhere before that. I guess the time information counts. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah. Okay, fine. But yeah, if you sweep a diagonal, it will eventually hit a tank of so-and-so parity, and then you can repeat that process. Okay, fine. You repeat the process for the parity. So k equals 100 works. I wonder if k equals 99 works. So if you, depending on which parity you choose, if you sweep the diagonals, wait, hang on, make sure I get this right. If you sweep the diagonals of no, you actually need 100. Okay. Yeah, you hit each thing. Okay. So for 2x2, definitely if you have just one shot, that's not good enough. I feel like 99 might work though. If this 100 works. So here let me propose a strategy. I'm gonna see if this fails or not. So we're gonna do down. So let's assume a parity, and then we do diagonal sweeping, right? So you hit here, hit here, hit here, chun, chun. I'm gonna try to do k equals 99. And what I do is, so you know, you have a diagonal here, and then so if you've missed so far, then you know like which side the tank is on. The tank is like somewhere on this side. Ooh, who knows where. You have like so you can kind of control the tank. So now what you do is you leave this cell blank and then do this 99, and then go like I don't know 2 more or something like that. So if you at this point either you got very very unlucky and the tank is in like was at this cell at some point, so you missed it, or otherwise the tank is like out here somewhere. You know, it's still to the right of your sweeping line, right? So you take one turn away, you take one break, and you like blow up everything around this region, so that if the tank was here, you got it. And at worst, this guy steps like one more diagonal to the, you know, one thing this way. Now you can just keep sweeping again. So now you go back one, and now you keep sweeping. Does that work for 99? K equals 2 works for a 3x3, as he says that. Okay, so what the heck is the answer? What? Yeah, like this. I did this just as a proof of principle that k equals 100 is not sharp. This should work for yeah, like 95-ish. So like if you know you're going up that little. So now I'm scared because I don't have any sense where the answer is going to be. Oh god. No. Oh come on. Oh, that's terrible. All right, so the thing about this, the strategy I described is like not really that elegant. Like, I don't see a reason to believe it would be optimal. It's just better than 100. What is the source? 239 Open MO 2017 Problem 7. I have no idea what that means. Grades 10 to 11. I've never heard of this contest, so I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know. Uh, okay. Jesus. Nah, Kegels 2 should work for So what would the optimal strategy look like if it's not the sweeping? Because the sweeping I already thought was better than what I expected. Can I do something better? What would that even look like? Okay, upstairs there's no solutions. Oh joy. Great, so now I have to solve it or I don't get to learn the solution. Just people arguing about what K is. They don't even know what the answer is. Wait, now I want to see this thread. One. K equals 1. How do you even show that k equals 1 is not provable? Like, I guess you can say the tank commits to staying in the 2x2 square, and now it's pretty clear you can't hit it. So if you miss, it's in either of the other. Yeah. We're firing 96 squares per day. I'm not sure that the person who claimed k equals 1 understands the statement of the problem. I don't know, that's true. It is true that if you fire at random, you will hit the tank with probability 1. Like, just because if you fire randomly, you know, you have a 99.01% chance, so the probability of missing every shot decreases exponentially. But the normal forms. Welcome to my world. Just dealing with AOPs. Thank you, MHAXZ9, for the follow. This could be a Code Forces interactive problem. It totally could be, I think. Also, is this... Now I want to know, is this problem, like, solvable? Or is this just something that someone came up with and, like, doesn't know if there's a solution? Because it doesn't... I'm feeling pretty lost right now. It's a real problem. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Problem 7 of an 8 problem contest. Guess 51. What is the strategy for 51 though? Like, hang on. You wanna... 15 just seems unreasonable. So how would 50 work? Like you want to care about time information somehow, so you want to do some sort of sweeping, I think, because otherwise I don't see how you're going to pin the thing down. But you want to do it without too many shots. I don't think k equals 2 works for a 4x4. Yeah, actually that feels totally implausible. K equals 2. But that's the other thing. So maybe we should think about a 4x4. So the answer seems like it should be 3 for a 4x4. Because 2 just seems ridiculous. Like, how are you gonna hit it with 2 shots? Can you get it with 2 shots? I guess if you're focusing on firing at the Hmm. This construction? Wait, the thing I described works for 51, really? There's 2 rows. Wait. Two rows at a time. Okay, so we're gonna... Yeah, let's do... Okay, so you want to sweep... How does that work? I see. Okay, so let's do that. That's probably easier to think about. So we're gonna fire, assuming it's on a black square, which we may without a lot of generality. We shoot here, 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 and then here, and then on the next turn we will. If it's not here, then well, we want to make sure it's not in. It stays out of this row, and then we can move this X. I guess. No, that's not what I want. I want the X here. And then we, on the next turn, we would go here, here, here. And then here. And then you sweep like this, and in this way you can make sure that the tank is like... Eventually you can get it down to this region or something with whatever parity. And now you hit here, here. Here. Okay, and then you keep sweeping like this down and eventually the tank dies. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. So K equals 51 is an answer, I would believe. That sounds like more like something that, because this feels more like an optimal strategy than the thing I had earlier. Like it feels like there is some conceptual reason. Well, conceptual reason is not the right word. It sounds believable. Like 51 sounds like a believable answer. Like 95 just sounds like totally unbelievable. There's no reason that what I did was sharp or can be pushed, but this strategy is not obviously improvable and is not obviously as arbitrary. So yeah, so how do I show you can evade? So now let's go back to the 4x4. We want to actually rigorously prove that with 2 shots you cannot do anything or something. I almost want to say that what would be sufficient is, suppose I fire some shots at some black, so without loss generality it's on some black squares, alright? And then if it's the case that after that operation, after the tank moves, it could be on any white square, then the task is obviously impossible. Is that true? I think I claimed something like this earlier to try to prove that, like, something didn't work, and then I turned out I was just wrong. But I think the thing is I wasn't taking into account, like... What was I not taking into account? Like, time or something? I'm still trying to understand what I did wrong. But I feel like I just want something that's like, if I want to prove the problem, I need something that's time independent anyways. Right, like you want some sort of invariant not related to the amount of time that has passed. Like you do not want to remember the history of previous shots in some sense. Like in some way. So for k equals 4, does the... So I am really confused right now, and I'd like someone to explain to me what is wrong with my thought process. Like, suppose the tank commits to being on one of these squares. The black squares, alright? And then... initially. And you fire, like, some shot. I don't know, like... here, and... This is just an example. Then the tank... Because you missed, the tank could be in any of these things. And all of these squares are still available. So if I fire these two shots, then because after the tank moves, the amount of information I get is like, no, you end up with the same set. Now it's not literally the case that no matter which two things I pick to do, is it? The case that no matter which thing I pick to... Is that true? Lower two. Oh yeah, lower two. Yeah. Okay, so let's chase this. Okay, so I think this is a correct type of reasoning. Like, as I want to find some sort of invariant set, like this. Oh god, why did I do the shading this way? Oh my god, that's so annoying. So if on the first step I blow up these two cells, then this cell is not accessible. It is not possible the tank is there now. So after that, it's on one of these 6 cells. And maybe, like, I don't know, what to do after that. You get 2 shots. Yeah, I think the strategy is to, yeah, okay, let's blow up the top left. So, bang, bang. So this is not accessible. So the tank was here, and ow. Yeah, let's see how much stuff we can delete first. But I think the strategy is broadly that we want a specified set that we can loop between. So which things are adjacent? So here, here, here. That cell is going to really stay alive. So it's still 7. You might need a class. I agree. You might need like a loop, but multiple such sets. But I don't. I want to say that the set should not be too big or something. Maybe you can actually just show your set always has size at least 100 squared minus 49. How does that work? Size 1250. I've been AFK for the past 2 hours. What have I missed? We have a successful construction of a strategy for k equals 51. And we don't know how to prove k equals 50 doesn't work. But have a general sense of what the proof might look like. That's our current state of progress. If I, rather than blowing up the corner, what if I blow up this one and this one? Then what are the possible cells after? Oh, it's a different shape, right? It looks like 1, 2. It's still 7, but so for this 4 case, can I ever get the size? I have the 7, but it's a different shape. No. Now it looks like this. And I can blow up these two. And this will get me down to 6. Yeah, he said it was the time. They'll kill the leftmost two. This will also get down to 6, right? Oh, okay, we can do the... Wait, is that 7? Did I mess up? Row 2. Ah, no! You're right. Yeah, I missed that one. Oh, crap. So which ones should I pull up instead? Is there a way I can get it down to? So I got this thing, which is a different shape. I wanna. Yeah. Well, I'd like to. I don't know. Yeah. Hmm. Just show you can never remove an inside. That's wrong. What's the definition of inside? Like just not touching an edge at all, or what? Must the tank move? Yes, I think the tank is required to move. Reason important, because if the tank can no up, then you're really in trouble. Hmm. If you're determined, are pretty annoying. Yeah, this is not great. I want like, oh, Jesus Christ. I had the thought that you might be able to like try to do some sort of perimeter thing. I don't know if that's helpful. Like there's this famous problem about like I forget the exact. I forget exactly how the details go, but the idea is something like you have some number of cells that is I forget. I forget exactly how the problem goes now. It's like you have an n by n grid, and there's some plants that are growing, and like if the enough neighbors of a plant are if two or more neighbors have a plant in them, then the plant spreads to that cell, and you want to ask like, what's the minimum number of plants you need to start with to fill the whole grid? And the answer is that the perimeter of the plant region is a monovariant. So I wonder if you can do something like this as well. It's a little weird because we have coloring. Although we don't have to, we use the color to make our life easier, but we don't have to use color. Right? We can just say, look at the set of allowable cells, and then, like it should cost us anything to use color, but if we don't, we also shouldn't cost us anything to not use it. But I'm trying to think like what would it look like? Like originally the feasible region is everything, and somehow I don't know. It doesn't feel like shooting down some number of cells is enough to. What would the proof look like? It's like I claim that the perimeter of the feasible region after each set doesn't remains at something? I don't know. Yeah, the problem is like ignore what I was saying. It's like it's the set of things you can kill if you're determined is pretty big. You can definitely like make some things blow up. And if you have there are states where k equals 50. Yeah, if you have 50 like random cells, you know, good luck. Yeah, so you would need to modify this a lot in order for it to have a chance of working. But I just thought of it because it's also like we really need a bound that is time invariant in order for this to work. Right, because the longer the operation goes on, the more information in principle we should know about where the tank is. So in order to prove impossibility without a time limit, you need some sort of bound that doesn't depend on the time. And I don't know what that would look like right now. Yeah, the problem is like for this 4x4, I think we can basically explicitly characterize. Like I think it's never possible to get less than 7. Hey Crow. And the proof, if assuming this is true, which it probably is, the proof is just like brute force the okay echo. The possible shapes of 7 and show that you never can get down to 6 because you can only miss something that's on the edge. So for this 4x4, like yeah, you can't even kill off an arbitrary cell. Yeah, that's a problem. Yeah, so K at least 4. But yeah, I don't want to draw it by grid. Yeah, I don't have anything. What invariant? I don't know an invariant. What if the region can always touch 2 opposite edges? Is that good enough? Both pairs of opposite edges. Okay. That's not necessarily a good enough invariant, right? Like if you just if your feasible region say is a cross, just like a big plus shape, if you blow up the center of the cross, it'll disconnect everything. Maybe try proving you can't erase a whole column. That is true. We don't expect to be able to erase the whole column, because once you can erase a column, then you can probably well, if you can erase an entire column, then that's good for you. You can erase a column in one move. No, not with K equals 50, yeah. It doesn't really matter. Like, even if you have parity, then you can wipe the column, but it will immediately reappear, right? So maybe like after the tank move. What do you mean 2 columns? No, I mean the claim is that you can imagine this as a turn-based thing, right? Where you blow up some cells and then some cells grow back. And the claim is that after each grow back step, every column has at least 1 cell on it. That's the claim. That should be true, because if you don't grow back a cell, you're kind of screwed. But I have no idea why. Each column has at least 50 cells after every step. That sounds believable as well. Ah, man, this problem's tough. So... yeah, it's not good enough as strong enough as an induction. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is this problem? Holy shoot. Someone said k equals 15 on the thread or something, right? Do we believe that? Do you think you can do it with k equals 15? I don't believe 15. It could be a typo for 51. Best typo. But I don't know. Yeah, you need to preserve something, but I don't know what that is. I wonder if like perimeter plus connected is true. Connected region that touches all four walls. Yeah. The problem is like no, that's just not. It's just not strong enough to induct on, right? Because, like, imagine your region is just like a big plus sign, right? And then, well, then the center gets blown up. Even perimeter won't help you there. I think the plus sign was the same perimeter as the original. You need something else, but I don't know what would work. Yeah, but it really touches all four walls. Upper bounds on forbidden area. Like area of forbidden area? Or like something else about forbidden. Area of forbidden area. Isn't that just the number of cells? Oh my god. I don't know I'm gonna get this tonight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some things very different between 50 and 50. Yeah, I agree. It seems like for 50 you shouldn't even be able to get started. But what is... K equals 3 6x6 progress. Oh no. That's actually really bad news. Really? You can get things started? What can you do with 3 in a 6x6? I would have figured you'd only like delete a few cells at the corners and that's about it. But barely. draw 6 by 6. I think the 4 example is too small. Oh, damn it. Let's try. Smart drawing mode is temporarily unavailable? I didn't even know that was possible. Is there anything special about this region? It's not literally true that, you know, I can, even with 3, I can blow up parts of it. But this is sort of the boundary of the diagonal shaving thing. So you can't push the diagonal past here. So I wonder if there's something I can say about this region somehow. This is the first time where if you just hit the diagonal, it just grows back for 3. But on the other hand, you could like hit. Obviously, you could hit here, 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 and then, you know, if you only had this region, that's not good enough because now you can start chopping off the. Well, it would grow back. I don't know. This is a good problem. I just don't know this direction. Oh, what are you supposed to do? Yeah. So something is supposed to hold up, but I don't know what that something is. All right. I don't think I'm gonna get this tonight. I'm sorry. I really like this problem, but I don't think I'm gonna solve it at the rate things are going right now. Man, I don't even get to see the solution. That is upsetting. I want to know what I missed. I guess I'll have to keep thinking about it later. Okay, I gave it a try. This is a good problem. Okay, well, thanks y'all for coming out. Yeah, I don't know what we missed. I'm like pretty sure the answer should be 51 because, as we said, like the 50 and 51 just feel really different. The 51 you can gradually grind things out, but for 50 it doesn't feel like you can really get that much started. But we also can't prove it, so you know, who knows. But it should be 51. I just can't imagine what the answer would be otherwise. Like, what would the bound even look like? Should we try and brute force it with code to check? You can, I think you could probably, you might be able to brute force the shapes for like k up to like a 10 by 10, right? Because what you do is you shoot 5 squares and then see what shapes you can get. For, oh, does it sound feasible? Really? Oh, I think I said that because like I feel like you just wouldn't be able to get more than a few. Yeah, 2 to 36 is big, but like, you know, you put parity, so it's actually only 18. And also, like, I just feel like most subsets wouldn't ever appear. Like, you wouldn't be able to get past the edge, or I don't know. You're probably right, actually. You know this sort of stuff better than I do, so. Yeah. But I think, like, for confirmation, like, what we want is we want a confirmation that, like, a 6x6 is 3 and, or 6x6 is 4 and 8x8 is, like, 5. And if we confirm both those facts, then we're pretty sure the answer should be 51. 1 by 1 case. Good luck. I think 6x6 definitely feels like it should be. Bigger than that, I'm less sure. Because at very worst, what? It's like a graph on 2 to the 18 vertices, and you're just looking for connected components. Yeah. So the game tree might be pretty big. But I think at each step you only need to remember the set of locations the tank could be at, or something. I don't know. I want to see the solution now. Man, what a problem. I'll keep thinking about it. Is Varnegon's theorem ever useful? What is Varnegon's theorem? The parallelogram? Ever, I mean, yes. Often, maybe not, but I don't know. There's a USAMO TS problem I wrote that quotes that theorem, for example. Also, I can think of it does show up like every so often. It's not like unheard of or something. It's also not a very hard theorem to prove, I think. So, you know, shrug. Yeah, I don't think you need to make a special effort to remember it because you'll just see it. It's in Python and can be scaled up how you need. Oh, that's great. Alright, I'm totally brain dead now, so I'm going to adjourn. We might, if people want, we can keep trying this problem tomorrow, although I'm not sure. I feel like I'm kind of stuck. I don't know if more time would help right now. Time away might help, we'll see. I'll sleep on it. Anyways, yeah, thanks all for coming through. Stream tomorrow, normal time. We'll do some more math problems. I don't know much. Oh, thank you, the Natalogistic, for the sub. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Alright, and I need to get the USAMO review up on YouTube because people will want to see that. Alright, thanks everyone for coming through. See you all.